Alright guys, so this is gonna be kind of crazy to explain, but I'm gonna go over my 3 writings tonight, my first postings on YouTube. So I'm not too familiar with like the process or me speaking, just any of the jazz that comes along with this. So please let me know in the comments if I suck, if you're a troll, if I should block you, if I got some blessings coming my way. Whatever you want to. I should speak differently because I'm not good at it. Anyways, alright, so the first one we will call, let's see, will you do Intro to Slam Poetry 101 first? So this is the first thing I wrote. And remember, I'm explaining this. Alright, now I want to preface my explanations of the physical with the mental. So let me fix this for y'all. I was in a place where I wasn't really in a bad place. I wrote this about a week ago. I was rather excited to get it out. It kind of came down to me. If you're any kind of artist, I think you get these two. They're like downloads, or like, let's say that's your purpose, and you're on your purpose. You kind of get, like, I don't know, they're kind of like thoughts everyone gets in the right direction, but it's kind of like, oh, this is what it needs to be. So I got them kind of like downloads or manifestations or whatever you want to call them. We'll get into spirituality, I'm sure, in this channel, but not now, just because I don't want to seem too crazy. I know I'm kind of out there, but I hope y'all will like me. So that's what I'm shooting for. So this first one, Intro to Slam Poetry, we're going to pick out some lines, and I'm going to tell you what I meant by it, because unless you're a writer like me, a creative, it's real hard to determine what I wrote, and I want to get this across because I think it'll be beneficial to everybody. Kind of translating it. Okay, so literally here, quiet in my mind, I can't find silence. Like, it's heavy up there. There's a lot of traffic, so just be quiet, because I can't find quiet, so help me. And then I literally say and put my thoughts on paper to tell y'all what I know. So as I transpose what I know, as I compose, as I try to write. So words that I can't dispose, to be quite honest, that came naturally, but I rhymed it with transpose because that's how my mind works. And dispose of, like, words I don't know what to do with, so they stay there. They turn cursed if I don't let them go. So what I have, I call it a gift and a curse. And you can relate it. If you're a creative, you might be more lenient to do that. But yeah, it feels cursed if I don't let certain things go. So you want to talk about a real curse word? I got a few of those in my mind. And then so I write, so at the end of I can't let it go. So I write, so I gotta let it out. That's kind of why I'm doing what I got now. Let's see. I don't want to go over the whole verse again, just because this video is going to be terribly long. Okay, I'm on this YouTube channel to let it out. Like I said, I feel like my visions and philosophy showed the real reality. Like, I'm not going to compare myself to the late and great Jordan Peterson. I hope y'all have heard of him. But he's actually a scholar, and I chase being scholarly. I wouldn't quite consider myself a scholar because I ain't all that smart. I'm sitting at home, I go off what I know. Typically, It's just off the dome, and I don't have any formal education. So I wrote a generational hatred. This generation, millennial. I'm a millennial. I feel like our generation's kind of split in half with good-hearted people, and then like people who are like NPCs, or I'm sorry if that offends anyone watching this video, people who haven't begun their journey yet, or unfortunately will never begin their journey. So it's like split half and half with good people, and then people who just don't. So a generational hatred that's needed to make us woke to the sheeple, or to even make the other folks woke to the sheeple. But right now, that's the leader of the people. It's crazy how naturally life fixes itself, even with people. We're part of nature. We fight within ourselves, and at this time there's a war going on between Russia and Ukraine. Might be a Cold War between China and America, but ixnay on me saying that so like we're stressed over that as a whole, but moreoverly these millennials, because I know I am, so I just feel like everybody else is. I'm very bold in assuming that, but we're stressed over questions and methods to fix mental health. Like TikTok, oh my gosh, it's full of people who want to diagnose / fix you / tell you what's wrong with you / you really want to fit in a category, so it's easier to know what's wrong with you. And there's nothing really wrong with you, man. I've been on the self-improvement journey with Hamza for a while, man. I might say it eventually or tell you in something later, but I joined his cult, which is his Discord, his followings. He's a real leader, man. He's like doing all the self-improvement stuff, man, and it's taken me places. But in my previous journey, this is like what I'm going back to when I'm writing. When I'm writing, I'm very introspective. So I'm just going to move on to the next. I'm going to summarize the next two as one, because they kind of are. I'm going to end with the last one, but that one's very short as well. So this one, I'm 27-year-old. It's called a 27-year-old's introspective reflection. So I was born to a beautiful soul, my mom, who was tainted by youth. From the time she was real young, I mean tainted as in raised by parents that were a certain way. I'm not saying bad, I'm not saying good, I'm saying they were a certain way. Whereas, maybe just as an example, maybe they were too strict on her, for instance. I don't want to give away who she is, or if that happened, might be something that she would discuss with me later in a video, but that's just an example. She was tainted by youth, which therefore made me grow up with a bag of tools from her that I was just expected to lose. Like, I wasn't expected to hold on to anything. It wasn't really even a bag of tools. It was a bag of a few twigs and maybe a stick here and there, or a tape dispenser, like there was nothing in there. So I was subjected by the last, which is her in this case, the last daughter, the oldest daughter. I don't know, just for the sake of the rhyme, I reckon. I was only exposed to that view. I didn't really have anyone else's perspective, because my dad he was there, but he wasn't with me all the time. So I definitely did see him. He was a part of my life, but I did not see him as much as I would have liked to, and as much as needed for a child to be correctly influenced. Let's see. Conceptualizing bad. I did see a lot of bad because remember, I was only exposed to that view. That view made me conceptualize, oh, that's bad. I don't want to do that. And so I am just the kind of person, I've always been introspective and internalizing. I kind of had to learn to look out for myself because my mom was young. I'll explain to y'all later what I mean by that. And I was conceptualizing that bad and structuring it as, oh, don't do that, but apply these things and then maybe use your own judgment, and this could be the outcome because you're better than that. I was trained by Lone Wolf Bomb. Let's see. I'm her best, but her bastard, a dad's natural disaster. So now that's kind of flip flop. So my mom was more or less not expecting me, whereas my dad wasn't expecting me either, but he kind of was more welcoming. And I'm not saying that like it's a bad thing at all, but it's how it was. And so, it's all in someone's own perspective how they view, I guess in this case, a child or me. And so now it's a good thing. Obviously looking back, no one says, oh man, that person wasn't good for me or whatever. So obviously now they like the choices that they made, but I'm sure back then they could have chose different. My parents were, I don't want to say, I'm sorry, I want to say too immature at the time to have a child. And they, honestly, if they're viewing this, they would probably agree with me. Because they've had children since, and I love the way my life turned out. I'm actually grateful for what I went. Anyways, we'll get through all that in later videos. I'm just unfolding what had happened to give you a raw perspective because I have always been a scapegoat and feel naturally inclined to publicly shame myself for some reason to make you guys feel better. So as long as you get something for this, as long as you get something from this, I observe different dynamics unfold to find stories untold. So I observe different dynamics unfold because I'm an empath. If you do know what that is, if you don't know what that is, look it up or vibe with me. So I'm an empath, so I observe different dynamics unfold between our families. And I found stories untold, meaning I ain't no J. Cole. I'll attempt to tell you in the future, but like stories untold, stories no one typically hears. And they just taught me specifically a lot more. I think you would value that perspective, so I'm going to keep putting these out. This was my favorite line. I think it's gold. No pun intended. What if I dig, like go down, or inward, and not climb this mountain of gold? So like, I feel like as I aged, I tried to climb, meaning I tried to naturally grow and improve as a child. I climbed up this mountain, but I'm saying now, what if I were to dig and not climb? Because this is a mountain of gold. So not only will I get through faster, but I'll expedite my experience in this case. I'll get the gold and I'll get through faster. Anyways, I thought that was genius. And aggravation is already an accident in the making. Ooh. Sorry guys, it's late for me. Let's see. aggravation is already an accident in the making. I feel like my birth was, it aggravated some people, honestly. I mean, we all deal with things, but we know how this thing naturally goes to. When we're not expecting something, we all get a little flustered. So that's about the extent of what I meant there. Growth and decay. No, hold on. Growth and decay separated by temptation. I'm not too sure what that line symbolizes. At the time, I think I did, because, again, if you're creative and you do get me, if you understand, that was a download that just came to me. If you guys know in the comments what this means, please let me know. Growth and decay separated by temptation. Yearning for comfort earned by manipulation. I see, yearning for comfort I get, but growth and decay, well, yeah, because we were 2 steps forward, 1 step back, so it was growth a little bit, but a little bit of decay too. You were just separated by temptation. I think we were so young, all of us, me, my mom, dad, my grandparents. Well, my grandparents were exceptional, because my parents were like 15 years older than me, so they were learning with me. I'm really talking about them. We were all tempted by growth, excited. Everyone's naturally inclined to grow up, grow out of their comfort zone, be curious, especially at our early ages. So we separated growth and decay by temptation. We wanted to grow, but we ended up decaying at the same time, kind of at the same rate. Let's see. Miscommunication is understood in the wrong way. Well, in a different way, I think I said, but in the wrong way was one of the things I had in there, like I was going to say instead. Miscommunication is one word, but I was gonna punnily separate it into 2 words. Miscommunication being my mom, because she was very misunderstood, I feel like, and she still to this day, if she's watching us, I hope you understand that. I know you understand, but I hope deep down you realize that I understand that too, and I saw that. I'm what they call an empath, believe it or not, Mom, so maybe that makes me psycho. Let's see. I'm a writer in my prime, and I right my wrongs in my own way. This is by no means like an apology. This is kind of me letting it all out. So do with it what you will. If my mom calls me and cuts me out because I'm talking about her, okay, I'll have to deal with that. But we'll deal with it. So, anyways, next one was kind of. So that one was more so about my mom. So my line of thinking was, okay, well, this one's going to be about my dad. So I'm going to call it Fool's Gold. Me being the gold, him being the fool. So I wrote, let's see. Plagued by information to sedate a heart that's racing. So the information in this case that he got was, oh, I have a kid named Tyler on the way. He used that as sedation for his heart that was racing. It slowed his heart because it probably sped it up because he was loving and caring and excited. But it honestly it was a good kind of racing. So the information that I was coming made his heart race in a good way. And so he said, okay, let's do it. You know, like, I don't want to get rid of it. Like, let's do it. Let's see what happens. I'm ready. I care, and that's about the ultimate thing here. And I've had conversations with him since then. So that's me and him. So I will speak with him. He might speak on this YouTube. Might not ever know how he feels. Might want me to leave it out, and that's between us. I also have to talk to my mom about some things. So anyways, I guess that's the end. There's not much else in here. What I did want to say, what I wanted to make a point of, is that Hamza and his self-improvement has really changed my perspective. And I've had thoughts on my mind for about 6 months for self-improvement. After running into one of Hamza's videos, I instantly connected, and I now have worked on my purpose. I'm nowhere near being done. I'm still a Jeffrey, as he calls them. And Jeffrey started working on his purpose, and solely that, and he's running into, like, a tribe, like, kind of people that vibe with him. So I'm digging that. But it's so weird. You still gotta focus on yourself before you focus on them. And the reason I say it's so weird is because I'm caring. And as I am a natural empath, it's just, I want to say it comes out of me, but the other way around, since it comes into me, just as energy, and I care, and I try to reciprocate that naturally. Now I've found some ways around that, which I'll go over too in a separate video. I'm trying to improve my spiritual health, but I'm sorry guys, I'm tired. It's like 9:30, 9:45, and I go to bed at 9. But anyways, so this self-improvement journey is like manifested some things that were like 6 months old, but I've wanted to do this since I was 17. I've never had the courage, never had the confidence. Always been put down. Your thoughts are too dark. No one will understand. I don't care. I've heard NF. I've heard Corday. I've heard people that use intricate syllables. Eminem, namely, who I used to be compared to when I was little. Well, I'm nowhere near. I'm not even saying that at all. Eminem, if you're watching this, I'm not like you. But yeah, I love hip hop, but moreover, I love that raw expression, and I want to give back. And this has been in the works for 10 years, so I'm really happy to get this part out. I know it sounds like nonsense. I know I've been rambling, and these videos are way too long. You're probably going to tell me, what is this scruffy old 27-year-old doing? Well, we'll get into that in a later video too. So this channel is going to be about quite a many things. Moreover, a blueprint is what I want to make it like. I want to kind of not lead by example, but just show you my example. Because in my community we'll all have examples, and I just want to show you mine.